Hello everyone, my name is Pedro Morales, aka the Wigman Max Mercury, and today I'm bringing to you part 5 of every UCT stable ranked from worst to best. So, a couple things before I go on into the entries for this video. I just want to say sorry if my room looks messy in the background. It is very cold out here, that's why I'm in a little sweater, a little hoodie, instead of my usual flannel shirt that I try to wear in every video, because right now it's 39 degrees and I'm freezing. But you know what? I do not want to starve you guys of any content. So, and actually, I will be making a video maybe a week after this one that will be like a special announcement regarding future videos, future projects. Because you know, after this series is over, what will I be doing? You know. So stay tuned for that, but let's just get straight to the video. So let's see, let me look at my notes. Okay, so starting off this list, we have number 54, The Age of the Disturbed. So the Age of the Disturbed is it's kind of a recent stable, at least for CXW, which you have 3 members: Malcolm Black, Insane Zane, and Sweeney Driftwood. So this stable is kind of like, it's kind of hard to describe them because they're not full on like sadists or emo or hillbillies or anything of the sort. They're kind of, I don't know how to describe their stable. They're kind of like cult. They're kind of like a cult, basically. That's kind of what it is. And the reason they're ranked this highly is because right now they're kind of on a winning streak, and I think they're also undefeated in CXW right now. You know, their success includes winning the CXW Next tag team titles and winning their feud against the New Mexicals. You know, New Mexicals putting them over, so to speak. And I really buy into it. I think this stable has a lot of potential. You know, there really hasn't been a CXW Next show in a while, minus Women's Warfare. But you know, for the men, it's been over a year. So you know, if it does come back, I think there's going to be a lot of potential for the stable, especially for the leader Malcolm Black. So yeah, that's about it. Next on this list, we have number 53, the Shuyakas of Professional Wrestling, or if I try that again, it's Shuyaka, which is a Japanese term meaning number 1. And this stable comprises of DJ Hero and 2 rookies named KU and SDC. So this stable, right off the jump, kind of felt like a weird pairing, because you know, you have like this new tag team, which you know, really young fellas, you know, had good matches. But then you also have DJ Hero, who, you know, it's kind of always been like a lone wolf kind of guy. So having him be the leader of this like stable, you know, felt weird. But looking back on it, I liked it. You know, so it had its haters, probably Dalton himself. But I think it was a pretty interesting stable, and by the end of its run, they were having a lot of great matches, and they even held all the belts at one point, being the XWP NXT Global Championship and the NXT Tag Titles. And then also KU and SDC had that amazing 5-star tag team match. Well, I can't remember what the match was, but I remember they had like a 5-star match. I think it was 3 teams. I think it was them, High Voltage, and somebody else, but I don't remember. It's been a couple years. But yeah, I really enjoyed this stable. It was a nice like mid-card stable, a nice heel stable. You know, it definitely gave DJ Hero something to do in his foray into other companies before XWP went on hiatus. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Kind of just a guilty pleasure, so to speak, in case nobody else really likes it. So moving on, we have number 52, the Dark Angels. So the Dark Angels is a very well-known stable, considering they first appeared in YWE back in 2012, almost 10 years ago, where the Dark Angels, Rick and Azriel, showed up to answer J2 Red's open challenge for the tag titles. J2 Red would basically lose by countout once they realized they were probably going to lose the belts at Money in the Bank. Then Dark Angels got a rematch at SummerSlam where they were able to win after Jeff Everseen came in and basically threw J2 Red back into the ring after they tried to run away again. And then from there, they had their good feud with the Bro Code, which resulted in kind of an even feud in which, the Dark Angels retained against Genji and Kid Wild, and then the Dark Angels would then lose a traditional Survivor Series elimination match against them. But overall, it was a very entertaining feud, very entertaining stable. The Dark Angels also have shown up in other companies, specifically XYZ, which is kind of like their home promotion, where Rick, known as the Mortal Rick, broke away from the stable. So I'm not going to include that incarnation too much since he broke away from the group, so it became more of like a duo. But I don't know, I like the stable. It's very well known. They've had tag success. I think the reason why they're not too high is because their time as a trio is very short. From SummerSlam 2012 all the way to about WrestleMania 4 is when they were kind of a trio, because Jeff Everseen was kind of like phased out and got released like in 2013, and then eventually the Dark Angels broke up, and so yeah, that's about it. So yeah, pretty enjoyable stable, one of the first emo stables. But yeah, that's about it. So moving on, we have number 51, the Ascension. So the Ascension was a stable in OCW. And it was one of those big bad stables, where they really made an impact on their first appearance. Kind of taking a page out of the Shield's book, they first made their appearance at OCW Survivor Series 2013, where they basically hijacked the whole show, basically took out everybody in the roster, canceling a bunch of matches, leaving only one match for an entire show. Which, if that was real, they'll get so much backlash, maybe. But yeah, the Ascension is made up of their leader Pletcher, Mark Accuracy, and Danny Blade. Eventually they gained more members than Ian Blaze and Drew Spade, who is now Drew Nova. And yeah, they had a strong debut, which for me puts them this high on this list because of that debut. Afterwards, they weren't as dominant as their first appearance. Pletcher ended up winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, which really helped, but he didn't get to cash it in before OCW closed its doors. But yeah, just the strong debut alone, just the statement that they made, taking out the entire roster, including the world champion, and then going on to beat some of OCW's best in a traditional Survivor Series elimination match, in which they made a clean sweep. So like that alone puts them this high. But at the same time, they're not higher because they existed for such a short time. And, after their appearance, I'm forgetting the word, but, there was less returns and excitement, They had a strong debut, and it just kind of went downhill from there. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. But, yeah, that's about it. So, moving on, the top 50. Yes, we're finally down to 50 more stables. But here we go. Number 50. The Crazy Asylum. So the Crazy Asylum is a current stable in UCT right now, featured in CGW, where you have their leader, Crazy Boy, followed by let's see if I can do this by memory. We have Big Brawler, Money, Simmons, and then I'm gonna have to cheat on this last one. Death Road. And Death Road, who is Crazy Boy's brother. So this stable is up here mainly because of their dominance right now. Like, they're at the top of SmackDown at the moment. Crazy Boy has had a great reign as world champion so far in his own company, and where they've just been able to win all their matches. None of the members have lost a single match since forming at SummerSlam, where they formed right after Crazy Boy retained against Arrow in the main event. And yeah, I like the stable. I like to see where it goes from here, but I think it's detractors. Some of it's detractors, and the reason why they're not higher is because besides Crazy Boy, I don't really care for any of the other members, and it's also due to the fact that before the stable was formed, each of the members, Big Brawler, Death Road, Money Money, they were all doing their own thing. You know, they had their own storylines, they were doing their own thing. And then once they joined the Crazy Asylum, they kind of just became minions, and they kind of stopped having their own storylines at that point. Like, Death Road was like Crazy Boy's brother who was trying to prove himself to his brother, trying to win matches even though he kept losing. And since joining the stable, you know, he had this one 6-man tag victory with the Crazy Asylum at, I think it was Hell in a Cell. And since then, that's about it. You know, same goes for Big Brawler. You know, he had his feud with Black Sheep, and then that was it. Money Money was kind of just a, you know, a lower card babyface, but now he's just a normal heel, you know. And then Simmons is just Bane. But yeah, this stable could be higher if it does more with its other members. Like, Crazy Boy is doing fantastic. That's like an A grade right there. But all the other members, it's like C at best. So yeah, that's about it. So moving on, number 49, Team Kamen. Oh, sorry, that was a botch. Which actually kind of makes sense. Team Canada. So yeah, sorry about the botch, but you know what? I'm gonna say it was intended because one of its members include Arrow, who is known as the Botcher of the UCT. So I'm gonna keep that in this video. Other members include Johnny Extreme and Antho, and I'm only including their time in CXW. Sorry, but I'm not including their Team Canada's existence in other companies such as BCW and XWF. Because in those companies, it's just Johnny and Antho. It's just a tag team. I'm not including tag teams. It's just stables and trios and above. So for just their CXW run, I think it's been pretty good right now. I think this version is very much more nationalistic than the other versions, and very, very pro Canada. In which their other two appearances, they acknowledge they're from Canada. You know, they're Team Canada after all. But they're not about, like, their mission statement isn't like, screw anybody who's not in Canada. Like, in XWF, they're just kind of there to just show that they're the best and just cause havoc and stuff. And then BCW, they were just kind of a normal tag team, you know. Well, on and off tag team. But yeah, CXW, I think they're kind of the best version in terms of what Team Canada is supposed to represent, which is, like, anti-everything else in the world. But yeah, I enjoy it. Johnny, you know, some of the members have had much success, like Johnny, who, you know, was U.S. champion, then turned it into the Canadian title, a la Lance Storm. Antho was TV champion, and then I think they're both still champions right now. I haven't checked. No. Antho's still TV champion, but Johnny lost his U.S. title. Arrow's doing fine as kind of like an enforcer for the group, and I'm enjoying it. You know, but, you know, just like with Age of Disturbed, we haven't had a CXW main show in a while. Like, I know we had Extreme Measures this year, but, you know, Team Canada's presence was very low. So, you know, once CXW comes back, I hope, like, once it comes back fully, I hope to see more Team Canada. I really enjoy them. So, yeah, that's about it. And then the last entry for this video, number 48, the Bloodline. So the Bloodline is an all-junior heavyweight stable in SWGP, filled with the leader Nightmare, Desperado, and Scarecrow. So I'm just going to get out their one con out of the way, and it's, well, actually, no, there's two cons, but I'll get out their first con out of the way, and it's that they all kind of look alike, in that they all have the same face paint, so it's hard to really distinguish them in terms of appearance and character. So that's about it. But their pros is that they've just been dominant. They've been running that division since the inception of SWGP, and they've been doing fantastic work, having great matches in the division against the likes of Joshua Silver, London Pierce, I think it was the Mexicans, and then Machine Guns. Like, they've just been doing great work, and the fact that it's an all junior heavyweight stable makes them unique enough from most of the stables on this list that I feel appreciating that, or at least acknowledging that. So yeah, and then the other con, I guess, which is kind of the detractor from keeping them higher on the list, is that I feel like they've been portrayed a little too strong, and my gripes kind of come from Nightmare's defense. And also to mention, they hold all the junior heavyweight titles. I'm sorry, light heavyweight titles. But in Nightmare's most recent light heavyweight title defense against, I think it was London Piers in a ladder match, like, there were multiple times where Nightmare was down for the count, but he just kept getting up. And if knowing all the spots that happened in this match, it kind of took me out of it for a little. It kind of took me out of it just a bit, where I was like, okay, Nightmare should have stayed down. Like, I get like the gimmick they're kind of going for, where it's kind of demonic, but still, it took me out of it a little bit. But yeah, that's about it. I still love the stable. Can't wait to see where it goes from here. As of this recording, the next SWGP show, SummerSlam, is coming up soon, and all three men are defending their belts, and there's a likely chance that they could lose their belts. So we'll see how that goes until then. But right now, keeping them at number 48, and I think they deserve it. So that's about it. So thank you for watching this video. Leave your feedback and suggestions in the comments below, and maybe I'll do one of your video ideas, because I've noticed some of you have typed down like any ideas for videos that I should do, and I don't know, I'm open to doing it. I really like what I'm doing on this channel, and I love making these videos. So thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.